Yes, judges.
Hello, Dan. How you doing? You
What are you
all
up to, bro?
I'm actually watching the football, mate. This Surfshark VPN is a lifesaver, mate. You can watch the football with a dodgy Wi-Fi, even at the Emirates when you've got a big crowd there and everything like that, watching the football. Unbelievable.
Easy to set up? Well, it must be if you've done it, mate.
Ah, very, very funny. Even abroad you can watch all your favourite programmes. It's like being at home, mate.
And that's exactly what you guys can do too. Click the link in the description for Surfshark VPN.
He doesn't win. If he doesn't win the Premier League, for me, I want him gone. I've been waiting long enough. Last time we won the league, I was 13. I'm 32 now. I think I've waited enough. I think I've done my sentence. It's time to deliver now. I don't want. I think also, listen. As much as I criticize this manager, I will say something good about Arteta. He has, if the club do what I want them to do, if we don't win the league, which is sack him, he's left us in a good position. There's a lot of good players here at this club. There's a good structure. And for me, it's just about getting the person that can get us over the line. I always prefer proven winners. He's not a proven winner, which is why I never wanted him. He's done a decent job, but at the end of the day, that's not what I want from my club. I don't want decent. I want world class. I want a top manager that's going to deliver major honours. That's what I want. And when people talk about, oh, you'd have to reset everything that's going on now. Well, what's the difference resetting this year or resetting next year? You're resetting, isn't it? Because the manager hasn't achieved it. So we shouldn't be scared about changing. Oh, what if a new manager comes in? At the end of the day,
it's not technically resetting when in what I'm saying, because if Arteta comes in next season, I can't see him fully changing his style of play. I can see him adding a few additions, maybe a striker and a midfielder and a defender. I don't think that's resetting. I think that's kind of pushing on from where you left off from. I think if a new manager comes in,
to do that, Premsy, because when we needed
this season,
for example, why I don't believe it, in him making those changes. When we needed a proper striker, you got rid of Aubameyang. Did he replace somebody with that output? No, he didn't. We've had how many years without another right winger to push Saka? How many seasons did we see Saka burning out or being close to an injury? Yeah, luckily, touch wood, that guy barely gets injured. We don't have competition for Odegaard. We don't have competition for both our centre-backs when they're dropping stinkers in the first leg against Bayern Munich. Then they're dropping stinkers. We're lucky because, to be honest, our goalkeeper and Gabriel still making a couple of mistakes at the back, and it didn't cost us against Bournemouth. But guess what? They know they're going to start because there's no competition. We pushed out a left-back that's actually better at defending, and now people are realising that Zinchenko isn't that guy. Now it's safe to say that
I hear what you're saying, but with all that competition, with all that no competition, fam, my man's took us more or less right to the end of the season, challenging with the best team that I've ever seen in my era of football, bro, and I'm same age as you, so I get it, you get me. So if he did now add a few of them players, because that's the only thing he can do now is add a few of them players. What else can he do, really and truly? Then you'll see. This is why I say, for me, this season, obviously everyone's got their own opinion. I respect everyone's opinion. Bro, I was probably the first guy out here to call Arteta's head out because I wasn't believing what I'm seeing, bro.
I remember it, man. I remember it.
And after I done it, bro, bear man run it. Bro, a big man thing. I'm telling you, nobody was saying it then. I swear.
But Premsy, it's nearly. The thing is, it's nearly. And then when you look at
your mind right in winning shit, bro.
You don't. But in any job, Premsy, in any job, yeah, whatever you do for work, whatever I do for work, nearly isn't good enough when you're in a business or when you're in an industry. They want results. Let's keep it real. That even goes down to a standard job.
Every business is different, innit? Because big man thing, yeah.
Not really. If I don't hit my target,
it is because the problem is with the Premier League, there's only one prize. You get me? I could be an accountant and making silly money and hit my figures I want to do, and I'm happy with that. You get me? But it might be my next door neighbor who's an accountant hitting million figures. So it's different in it. There's different contexts with it. That's all I'm saying.
Really, because no industry gives you 5 years to achieve what the standard is. No industry gives you 5 years to achieve that. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, as many times as he has got players right, there's players that he's got wrong. There are players he's got wrong.
Bro, no one's perfect, innit? Nobody's perfect. He's going to do things wrong. I've killed him for when he's done stuff wrong, but I'm not also deluded.
But this is why I don't have faith in him.
To give him credit for when he's done something well. And I think this season, bro, realistically, you got to give him praise, bro. He's done well. Yeah, he might have not won anything significant, but Champions League, bro, I've not seen Champions League football for a long time, especially against Bayern Munich. Well, I did see that and we got fucking battered. But this time around, it felt different. You get me? At the Emirates, it felt different. It didn't feel like we was a small Arsenal getting bullied up and that. It didn't feel like that. You get me? I felt like this for years. You get me? Obviously, I've seen great times. I've seen poor times. But this felt different. You get me? And even challenging with this City side all the way to the end, it is an achievement in itself because it shows we are definitely heading in the right direction. And if we do give this guy one more year, we don't know what could happen. Are we going to risk it?
Let me finish.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't 20 years. One more year for me is not bad.
Okay, let me finish what I'm saying. First of all, Premzy, yeah, we went up against a Bayern Munich team. You're saying this is the best Arsenal team you've seen in a while, and I do agree.
No, I'm saying the feeling that I had when we played Bayern and Arsenal is different.
Okay, well, we went into that game. Yeah, we embarrassed ourselves. I'll tell you why. That's the worst Bayern Munich team I've seen. When we went into that, most people's prediction was we're going to beat them. They're weak this side. They got Dyer at the back. Let's keep it real. When we used to get smashed up to Bayern, you could name about 5-6 players, say, yo, bad boy players. We're going into a Bayern team where the players don't even believe in the manager. He's leaving at the end of the season. Most of their players are in disarray. I went back in all the games that they've been playing. The individuals dropping multiple stinkers. The midfielders all over the place, and we were unable to get over the line. I wanted this manager to show me that he can actually coach when our backs against the wall. We got away with it in Porto because we took it to penalties, which I said is not a consistent way to get through in the Champions League and qualify in the knockout stages. I'm not saying every single thing Arteta's done has been bad, but there's been things that I wanted improvement in, and some of those things I've not seen. This is why I still question him. I wanted that striker. I wanted the winger. I wanted the number 10. I wanted certain things, and also the game management. We still look ropey, and our kryptonite still seems to be when we face a mid block or a low block. And I don't see a consistent approach to when we play teams.
There's loads of
that's why for me,
I want to see as well, bro. Don't get it twisted. There's always
that's why for me, if he doesn't deliver this season,
there's players that I wanted to see, and I've been screaming for a striker, bro. 2 years ago, bro. Not even last year. 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I've been screaming for a striker. There's things that, bro, I wouldn't have brought Havertz into the football club, but this guy's brought him in. It seems to have worked. You get me? So you got to have a little bit of trust in some of the players that he's brought in, because not really loads of them have fucked up. A few of them have, but majority of them have kind of worked for him. And obviously in the Champions League, I understand what you're saying. This isn't the best Bayern Munich. I do get that, yeah. But when we're away as well at Bayern Munich, this is probably the first time for a lot of these players in the Champions League at the stage of their career in the last 16 in this atmosphere. It's a mentality thing as well. The players got to take a bit of responsibility for it as well. The manager can only do so much from the sideline as well. You know what I mean? So this is how I do look at it. Like, bro, look, I've got no agendas against anybody. All I want is my football club to succeed in it. And at the moment, I can see my football club is up there challenging with the best team in the country right about now. And there is a chance of us still winning the league, because anything can happen in football. All they got to do is draw, and we carry on winning our games. We can win the league. We're not out of the question yet. If I sit here and think, right, okay, if I sack Arteta now, yeah, and somebody else comes in, I know straight away, yeah, that manager that comes in, everybody knows that he's not going to keep all of them players. He's going to want to bring in his own players. He's going to want to get out a few of them players, which is going to definitely unsettle things. It might make it better, because obviously we don't know. It could make it worse. But what I'm saying is the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Just for now, I'm willing to wait one more year to see. Now, like you said, we need a striker. We need these kind of players. That's the only thing now he can really add to this squad now. He can't really add anything else but these other players that we need and depth. Next season, if it doesn't work out for him, then we look to bring in somebody else. I think one more season, because then we might be letting go of something. We might be letting go of something if we don't let him. If we let him go.
Right? It's mad because and like let me just say in the chat, man, people just calm down a little bit. Yeah, Premzy can say what he wants. North side can say what he wants. Mikel can say what he wants. Let's just not get all really immature about it and start screaming about people's opinions, man. Jesus Christ, embarrassing. That's the first thing. Next thing, do you know what? Prem's has actually done something which a lot of people say Arsenal fans don't do. Change your opinion, right? Because Premzy, like, real talk, me and you were probably two of the first on AFTV that were like, ain't for me, I want Arteta out. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't long ago either, bro, was it? That you and I were like, I don't think this guy's got it. And you've managed to change your opinion to go, do you know what? Fair play. I'll give him a hell of a lot of praise to see what I've seen. And you're not afraid to hold your hands up and do that. And that's what a lot of people say, too scared to do it. Don't want to admit that you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. So big up to you, bro. Because there's, I think you've done what a lot of people say people don't do. So respect for that, man. I've got a lot of respect for it.
Yeah, but people just have their own opinions, and it's not wrong to have your own opinion. Like Northside's got his opinion; he's entitled to have his opinion. That's the way he sees the football club, and that's the way he sees it going. We're all individual human beings in it. The thing with me is what I actually appreciate. I've been going to Arsenal games for a long time, Dan. You get me? Long time, and I've seen how rotten our atmosphere was, how rotten the fan base was within themselves, how it was just a madness. You get me? Times you go there, and it's just you're going there for the piss up more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Now he has brought a togetherness back to the club, and that has happened because everybody, well, not everyone, but most of the people can see that we are kind of heading in the right direction, and you get me? So I appreciate that because we were in fucking disarray. But at the start,
if it goes sideways, this is the funny thing about the internet. Last season, when I got it right, unfortunately, because I want my football club to win, that's all I'm ever pushing for, Arsenal to win major honours, condemn me. An Arsenal fan that wants to win, how negative. But anyway,
we all want to win.
As soon as if I get it right and we don't win the league, which I don't want to happen, they'll be saying the same thing I'm saying. Why didn't we get a striker? Why did we do this? Are we going to do it? Are we going to do this? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? So it is what it is, man. People want to act blind like they didn't want to sell half this bench in January and get a striker. People are going to act like they didn't say they didn't want another right winger to rotate with Saka. But now
I hear what you're saying. The thing is,
we still got a mathematical.
I still want to sell half of them, man. I still want to sell half of them, man. You get me? But he's still with me wanting to sell half of them, man. He's got to where he has right now. You get me? So that's what's giving me more of a foresight to think, right, if he gets rid of these, man, and next season comes and he brings in certain players, you never know. We could take it to the next step. One more year for me, innit? I don't think it's that bad for me, innit? I'm patient. I'm patient in the sense that I think one more year can do it.
You don't need to re-sign players that have shown us multiple years are not good enough. You don't need to sign Reece Nelson. He never did anything out on loan. He never shown us anything to prove anything to us that he should be number 2 to Saka. You don't need to re-sign Eddie Nketiah on a new contract. You don't need to even break the bank. Maddison, Tottenham got him at a steal. If we was rotating Maddison and Odegaard, I'm sure you would say it's not breaking the bank and it's a better rotation. Maddison and Odegaard instead of Odegaard and Fabi Vieira or Lokonga or Nuntavaj or players like that. No one said you have to keep buying every player 50, 60 mil. But certain players you could see weren't good enough. You didn't need to push out Kieran Tierney to keep Zinchenko to play him out of position and not identifying that you're playing him in a position where it's his weakness.
Yeah.
No one said you needed to do that. You spent money on Kai Havertz, scored 12 goals. Yeah. We didn't call Giroud a grand success at Arsenal for scoring 16 goals twice in a league season. He was deemed not good enough. Lacazette, 14 goals in a league season, deemed not good enough. You bring Jesus.
Are you still saying Havertz is not good enough?
He's a good... Bro, how is 12 goals a good return on a striker? Explain that to me.
Come on, bro.
What do you mean, come on, bro? What do we leverage that? Hold on. He's not only played as a number 9. I'm not cutting you up. Let me finish what I'm saying. When we spoke about Nketiah, we spoke about goal scoring as a striker. When we spoke about Lacazette, we spoke about goal scoring. This year, people are having doubts about Jesus. Why? Goal scoring. The metric that we judge strikers on are goal scoring. Don't change it now because it's Havertz. Because it was the same thing people were saying about Jesus. Look what he does off the ball. Ultimately, now people are saying, well, he's not really that great. He's never been a goal scorer. So what are we talking about? You're moving the goalposts. All those other strikers, you judge them on goal scoring, but Havertz, to justify it, it's like he's amazing. Come on. Yes, he scored a couple of goals, but where was he against Bayern Munich? Where was he against Porto? Where was he when we lost to West Ham 2-0 and we had 30-odd shots on target and everybody's saying we need a striker? Let's not be hypocritical. There are things that we know that we needed to address and we didn't. I never said you have to blow 50, 60 mil every single player, bro. But there's things this manager has not yet got to. When we go up against a low block, what is the consistent plan B? Where is the striker when the goals dry out? Those are things that we need to address. He needs to address. His management ain't perfect, because if it was perfect, we'd be guaranteed a major honor. So there are things that need to be worked on.
Nobody guarantees you anything. I personally think any team in world football who is going in the middle of a title race, having a season that we're having where we're competing at the top of the table versus a Man City team that have won 3 league titles in a row and are about to go on a 4th, and we're neck to neck with them until the final day, would not be sitting here speaking about sacking their manager. I think it's very redundant, this conversation. No disrespect to you, Kenny, or anybody else who wants the manager sacked, but it doesn't actually solve any of our problems getting rid of Mikel Arteta at this moment in time, because I don't think the problem is Arteta. The coach has actually gotten us to a higher level. The coach has actually gotten our team to perform higher and at a level higher than some of our players are. Constantly, I hear Northside and yourselves speak about lack of striker. Well, we still have the most goals in the league with a lack of a striker, and another team has Erling Haaland in their team, for God's sakes. We talk about our midfield, our defense, our issues in certain areas of the pitch, but yet we're still one of the most organized teams where we have the best defense in this league. And we're sitting here, Man City dropping 1 point or 2 points from now to the end of the season away from Arsenal potentially winning a league title. And we're speaking as if he's bottled it like he did last year, or we've completely dropped off a cliff. Kenny, I know you might want Arteta gone, but it just doesn't make sense to sack a manager in this situation. Minimum, he earned my trust based off how we performed the season through adversity. We dropped points versus West Ham and Fulham. It looked like the league was getting thrown away. What did we do? We went on a run that we haven't seen Arsenal go on since like Invincible days. Also, set pieces. We have found we have been able to be the best set piece team in Premier League history. One of our best defenses. We're about to get 97 points or 99 points, 89 points, however many points it is. It's going to be like one of our record points totals in our club's history. And we're looking and sitting here and having a discussion about Mikel Arteta potentially being sacked or not being good enough. I think is ridiculous. I think if we bring in any other manager at this moment in time and replace Mikel Arteta, it would be a risk that I would not be willing to take. And I think anyone
I hear you saying, you made some very good points. But the reason why I was asked for the manager to be replaced, because he hasn't brought me success. I want success. I want trophies. That's not an unreasonable.
We're literally so close.
Yeah, but close is not good enough.
No, but you know what, Kenny? I'm sorry for interrupting you, but the reason why I'm interrupting you, I feel like this is a situation. Where we're digging for diamonds, and I'm still digging where you're turning back right at the edge of that.
You're talking about a treasure hunt. I do get you a treasure hunt. But
we're looking for silverware. Is that not a treasure hunt?
Yeah, I know. You're right. But the fact is, at the beginning of every season, every season is like being in a job and at the start of the financial year where you have your appraisal, where you do have targets and you will have an outcome. The fact is that the manager's hired to win trophies. We're now in a situation where we all know Arsenal are competitive, but what we want the competitive to equate to is trophies. Now, if Mikel Arteta, has brought me success, we wouldn't have this discussion. I know how good Mikel can be. I know how well Mikel's done. There are other things that I'm not too agreeable with. I'm not agreeable with Nelson getting a new contract. I'm not agreeable with Nketiah getting a new contract. And I still think that Mikel has still got a bit of work to do on the left-hand side. I still feel there should be competition for places. Let me land.
No, I want to address that point, Kenny. Does that matter? If we win the league, would you complain about Reece Nelson or Eddie Nketiah getting new contracts? No, you won't. You'll actually be laughing straight to the bank because we're going to go sell them for 60.
Yeah, but see, that's where you're wrong, though. The fact is that you've done podcasts with me long enough to know. I'll say, well done, mate. Congratulations on winning the league, your first major league title at a big club, and you've cracked it. I'll be the first one to do it because I'm an Arsenal fan. But one thing I would say is you buy when you're strong. All the best teams buy when they're strong. They don't just think, oh, well, won the league and I've had Eddie Nketiah in the squad. Oh, yeah, if I want to retain this, keep Eddie Nketiah. You don't do that. Liverpool in the 80s had 2 in, 2 out. They bought when they were strong. Sir Alex bought when they were strong. Pep Guardiola bought when they were strong. Let's have a look. 2022, they win the league and then they get rid of Sterling and they go and win the treble. After they win the treble, they get rid of Godwin, who, doesn't accept a new contract, and they get rid of Mahrez. And then now, sadly for us, could win the double. And that's what you do. You buy when they're strong. So that's going to be in Mikel's in trait, regardless of whether he wins the league or not. There's still things he needs to do in order to get us over the line. Because if he doesn't win the league, it's the same thing. I still want those areas to be addressed. I still want 2 players for every position. and I don't see any reason why it's unreasonable to ask for that.
I think
I want us to compete for every trophy. But one thing is, you're not prepared to make the sacrifices, because that's the reason why we clash, is because we all know there's FFP considerations, and you know full well that the money that the Kroenke is going to put on the table isn't enough to give us the players that we need to change all fronts. And you're not prepared.
You want something? You don't need.
I recommended some sacrifices. You're not prepared to even consider my recommendations for the best.
Ken, you want to know something? Man City is one of the best teams in the world. Real Madrid is one of the best teams in the world. They don't have 2 players in every position. They don't.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about it? I'm sure when Man City lost to De Bruyne,
Man City don't have a like-for-like replacement.
If Real Madrid and Man City lose certain players, it's business as usual. Now, with Arsenal, if we were to lose Saka, it's catastrophic.
Guess what?
You said
Arsenal lost Saka. Arsenal lost Saka ahead of the Man City game, one of our biggest games of the season, and we won.
One game. Could I do it over a season?
You're asking me to give you an example. I gave you an example. It's not my fault Saka doesn't miss too many games. Martin Odegaard missed a game this season. What happened, guys? Do you remember? Martin Odegaard missed a game. We won that game, right? Am I wrong?
I'm asking you a question. Long-term injuries.
Brother, I just want to say this. You have your way of thinking. I'm not going to change your way of thinking, but I'm just going to meet you halfway, and I'm going to say this. Mikel Arteta, it's not about Arteta at this point. Some of the things that people criticize Arteta are board decisions, signing of players, new contracts, which is just straight business decisions that clubs always
make. He's not the head coach, he's a team manager. You've got to remember that. He's part of the transfer committee.
Now, the main point is, if you are going to say that Arteta getting 2 more points than Man City this season and winning the league is going to be the difference between you closing your eyes to all the issues that you're saying, I don't think you're being really genuine with that point, because you're basically saying that if Arsenal win the league, everything that Arteta's done, everything that's wrong with the club, I'm going to turn a blind eye to it, and I back him.
No, I never said that. See, that's the thing. You never said that. You did. You missed out the points where I said buy when you're strong. You didn't hear when I said buy when you're strong. You didn't hear when I said the best teams over the last 40 years have bought when they're strong. You didn't hear when I said
that's what we're doing.
Let me finish. You didn't hear when I said Pep Guardiola made changes even after he won the treble and even
Arteta
after he won the league.
That.
And I'm saying that if Arsenal win the league this season, we still got to enhance the score. We still got to
100%,
and we still have to challenge at all fronts. You're saying that if Arteta doesn't win, I'm going to. No. It's not personal. It's just I think the best man for the job, the man in possession. I hope the man in possession does get us to that level. But if he doesn't get us level, then I have to ask the question. He's probably going to be in next season. Well, 99% going to be in next season. But next season, knowing that Man City are facing the charges, knowing that Liverpool, are going for a transition. We know Man United are going to be probably a mess. They're probably going to have to get another new coach. We don't know what's happening with Ange Ball. We have to assume that when it gets to nitty gritty, they're going to fall by the wayside. This is next season, without doubt, it's going to be our best chance to land a title. And if he doesn't land a title, Miguel, then you'll feel I'll be on your case, not on your case, but I'll be on every podcast I'll have me asking for the go. And I will
you want to know something?
Straight.
I don't have a problem with you saying down the road we can look at the manager potentially being changed. But if you were to sit here and say what you've seen from Arteta in his 4 full seasons, by the way, 2 of those he's challenged for the league title, is a disappointment from where we were to where we are now.
I've never once said
to where we were to where we are now. And to what we can be going forward, buying when we're strong, as we always are going to do.
I hope so.
I only see this team getting better, and I don't see our competition catching up to us next season. I think this team is on. I think this team, Ken, is on the cusp of greatness with the age profile of our team, with the rest of the clubs being an absolute mess, like Chelsea.
I want to see this.
Guess what? Guess what? You only get sustained success. 1 second.
Talk
You
about
only get
Oh,
sustained
I thought you were
success.
saying you wanted him to see him do the
1
YMCA then.
second. You can see armpits as much as you want.
I want my
1
Atlanta got
second.
to do this
1
and
second.
lift
We're gonna
trophies.
see armpits. Don't worry. We're gonna see armpits at the end of the season. But the main reason why we're gonna the main way you get there, the main way you build success in today's football, we're not Bayern Munich, we're not Real Madrid. The way we have always done it is sustained success.
You do
1
it,
second.
you do it. Accept that.
Arsenal Football Club, for my whole entire lifetime, has won based on sustained success. George Graham came in, Arsene Wenger came in, and they had sustained success. Arteta is now coming in, and I believe we're so close. Once we get over that line, it's going to be Arteta's league. We're entering the Pep Arteta era, and you guys can call me delusional as much as you want, but we can already see with the level of football that we're playing with less quality than City.